Hi there, I'm Ron Chuckett, and Retro Sports Network presents Boston Red Sox 46 this afternoon, this Tuesday, April 23rd, 1946. The Boston Red Sox host the Washington Nationals, and as you can see from the standings, or at least from what you can see on the scoreboard, the Red Sox have had a great week. Now, I gotta say, before we get into this, that I screwed up, which means the second replay in a row that I'm recording that I've screwed up. I was trying to get the home opener. The Red Sox were off on Friday, which was why there was no released upload that day. And I thought they traveled to Philadelphia to play the Athletics that weekend, and then the next week it'd be Washington and Philadelphia at home. And the plan was to do the opener of the Washington series as the home opener. But no, they traveled home to play the Athletics that weekend, and I didn't see it until afterwards. So you get the regular Tuesday and Friday planned games. So it's home against the Nationals or Senators, and then at Fenway Park to play the Athletics. All right, with all that in mind, it's Earl Johnson on the hill today for Boston, 5-4 on the real season with 3 saves, 3.71 the ERA. He probably will not go the complete game. He might. 115 pitches. He's a lefty. 80 innings pitched on the real season, 78 hits allowed, 5 homers, 39 walks, and 40 strikeouts. Here is the lineup the Nats will field this afternoon on a light, rainy, coolish 59-degree day. Winds blowing from right to left here at Fenway. Sherry Robertson leads off and plays third. Buddy Lewis bats second and plays right. Jeff Heath, the left fielder, bats third. Sanford, not Vernon, but Sanford. Imagine that. He's platooning for Mickey Vernon. Wow. Anyway, he is the first baseman and will clean up. Cecil Travis, the shortstop, bats fifth. Evans, the catcher, bats sixth. Sam Spence, the center fielder, will bat seventh. Jerry Pretty, the second baseman, bats eighth. And Walt Masterson is on the hill for Washington, and he would be what you would consider to be, I would think, the staff ace. The picture for Fenway is not the world's best here, but it comes with the game. Ted Williams is who you see behind the picture of Sherry Robertson, is in left. Tom DiMaggio in center, and Catfish Mekovich in right. Ernest Andres is the third baseman. Remember, in the game that we did opening day in Washington, he went like 3 hits, hitting 375. Eddie Pellegrini, the shortstop, in for Johnny Pesky. Bobby Dorr is at second. Rudy York is at first. Dorr is the best defender, along with DiMaggio in the field. Hal Wagner is behind the plate. So with all the preliminaries done, Sherry Robertson at 263, a homer and 4 RBI, steps in the box. We are underway. There's a ground ball to second. Dorr has it, flips over to Rod Johnson for the out. So was kind of in the hole between first and second, and so scored 4-1. That's a rare play. Here's Buddy Lewis. Buddy at 300, a homer and 3 RBI. Washington in the road grays, and as we said before, with a W, with a blue W on the pocket, and above that, kind of like an exponent in a number, is an American flag shield. The Red Sox in their home whites with the buttons up jerseys, with just like the way it's always looked. Washington in blue hats with the white W. The Red Sox in their formal colored, their regular colored hats, and the non-outline B. Give you Buddy Lewis's numbers. 1 out here in the first. The pitch. There's a fly ball pop-up to short. Pellegrini's there. 2 out. Jeff Heath, the batter. Jeff is 0 for 16 with 6 strikeouts on the year. And he still looks like Bob Hope. Pitch. There's a line drive into right center. That's a base hit. And Mekovich kind of bobbles it out there, and Heath will take the extra base. So it's a single for Heath and E9 on Mekovich. And with 2 out, here's Jack Sanford. Jack, 4 for 17 on the year, 235, no homers, and 35 RBI. Pitch, runner goes. There's a ground ball to third. Andres throws it over to York, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. After 1.5 inning, that's a good sign when you hear the music. Washington nothing, Boston coming to bat. So no, Walt Masterson is not the ace of his staff. I goofed. On the year, he has no record. He's got one start. This is the 8th game for the Nats. No record, an ERA of 1.50, 6 innings, 6 hits. He has walked 5 and struck out 2. In real life, he went 5-6 in 46, 6.01 ERA, 91 innings pitched, 105 hits allowed, 8 homers, 67 walks, and 61 strikeouts. That does not strike me as an ace. I don't know why I thought that. Anyway, Washington on the year will finish around 500, 77 and 79, I think. Here's the Red Sox lineup. Dom DiMaggio leads off and plays center. Eddie Pellegrini, the shortstop, bats second. Ted Williams, who's slumping, he's hitting 174, bats third. Bobby Doerr cleans up. Rudy York bats fifth. Catfish Matkovich, the right fielder, bats sixth. Ernie Andrus, the third baseman, bats seventh. Hal Wagner behind the plate. And Johnson, as you know, is the pitcher. Defensively for the Nationals, it is Jeff Heath in left, Sam Spence in center, Buddy Lewis in right. Spence the best defender of the three. Sherry Robertson at third, Cecil Travis at short, Jerry Priddy at second, Jack Sanford at first. Priddy the best infield defender, with Al Evans, who, if you remember, had that stolen base in the opening day game, is your catcher. With all that, here's Dominic DiMaggio at 360, no homers and 4 RBIs, 9 for 25 on the year. And that's a line drive into left. Heath will get there at end. DiMaggio rounds first, and the Red Sox lead us off with a single. Here's Pellegrini. He is 0 for 1 on the year, a 211 hitter in real life. Masterson deals, and there's a line drive to Priddy, 1 out. Here's Mr. Williams. Ted at 174, a homer and 3 RBI, 4 for 23. He has scored 4 times and has walked 9, which is about what you'd expect. Pitch gets away from Evans, and DiMaggio goes to second on a wild pitch. So the 2-2 almost hit him, and it's a full count to Ted. Here we go, and there's a long drive to right center. It is deep, it is gone. A home run into the bullpens in right center for Williams, and it's 2-0. So Ted saves his best for when the internet microphones are on him and cameras, and he sent that one out in the triangle. So 2-0 for Bobby Doerr, who's hitting 267, a homer and 5 RBI. Here's the pitch. Doerr hits this one into left center. Spence moves over, makes the catch, and there's 2 out. For Sergeant Rudy York, 269, no homers and 2 RBI. Pitch. York takes ball 4. And so Masterson lost him on a full count. Outside and low on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Here's the Catfish Matkovich. 357, a homer and 6 RBI. Great start for Catfish. Pitch to him is a line drive into right center, a right field, and that will be a base hit. York moves over to third, and the Red Sox are really taking a pounding to Walt Masterson. Here's Ernie Andrus. He's 6 for 16 with 2 doubles. 375, no homers, and 2 RBI. And maybe one of the greatest single overperformances in Red Sox, in action PC baseball history, not let alone Red Sox history. Here's the pitch. He gets a bend on it, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Matkovich goes to third. Andrus holds at first, and the Red Sox lead at 3-0. That brings up Hal Wagner, who's hitting 167, a homer, and 2 RBI. Going to make it easy for Earl Johnson if the Red Sox are going to give him all sorts of support. Here's the pitch. Wagner hits a fly ball on the right. Lewis moves over a step or 3, and that retires a side. Not before the Red Sox get 3 runs, primarily on the 2-run shot by Ted Williams. On 4 hits and no errors. After 1, it's the Red Sox 3. The Nationals nothing. It'll be Cecil Travis, Al Evans, and Stan Spence here in the second for Washington. Travis at 259, 7 for 27 on the year, and none of the other extras. Doesn't even have an extra base hit. Pitch from Johnson is a liner into left. Williams will flag that for a single. And so Travis is aboard. For Al Evans, who's at 250, no homers or RBI. Johnson's ready. There's a pop-up. Door moves over to his right. Makes the catch, 1 out. Brings up Stan Spence, who's hitting .308, a homer, and 5 RBI. And as you can see from the pic, he played for the Red Sox at one point. Here's the pitch. Here's a pop-up. Door moves over. He moves over near foul territory and makes the catch. 2 out for Jerry Pretty, who is at 269, no homers and 3 RBI. There's a fly ball to left. Williams will turn and watch it go. It's a home run for Pretty. And the lead is cut to 3-2. So a 2-run shot. I'm sure that's Pretty's first of the year. And we got ourselves a ball game again. I'll bring up Walt Masterson. Walt is 0 for 2 on the year. 080 hitter on the real season. Here's a pitch. Masterson swings. Fly ball to left. Williams has it. And that retires the side, but not before the Nats get 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors. After 1.5, it's the Red Sox 3, the Nationals 2. Earl Johnson on the real season actually was a decent hitter. Hit 227, 2 doubles, 4 RBI. Masterson pitched 37 in the first. He should go about 125. Johnson at 39 through 2. Here's the pitch. And Johnson draws a walk. 3-1 fastball low for ball 4. And that brings up DiMaggio, who singled and scored his first time up. Here's the pitch. DiMaggio will single this time to the right side. A poor play by Sanford. He dove and couldn't come up with it. And so the Red Sox have 2 on and nobody out for Pellegrini. Eddie was retired his first time up. Here's the pitch. He won't be retired this time. A line drive all the way to the wall and right. Johnson will score. DiMaggio holds at second. Pellegrini on second, and it's 4-2 Boston. For Ted Williams, who homered his first time up. He has now 2 homers on the year and 5 RBI. Pitch. He gladly takes a walk. Masterson really didn't throw anything close to the strike. Oh, they had an infield shift on him. I hadn't seen that before. Anyway, Bobby Doe at the plate. Bobby's 0 for 1. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the bottom of the second. 4-2 Boston. Pitch from Masterson is a line shot to Travers, over to Pretty for 1, to Sanford for 2. DiMaggio scores on the double play. A sharp ground ball to Travers, and the veteran turned 2. So 6-4-3 on that. Here's Rudy York. Rudy walked and scored his first time up. 5-2 Boston. Here's the pitch. York flies this one to left. Back goes Heath. He goes back to the wall. It is gone. A home run for York. That scores Pellegrini. It is 7-2. And that'll do it for Masterson. I thought he was the ace. Johnny Niegeling. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Comes in the pitch. And is immediately greeted by the hit music. Niegeling, as the Red Sox are hitting like Superman, has not pitched yet in this replay. He is 3-2 on the real season, or was 3-2. 403 earned run average. In 38 innings, he allowed 39 hits, 1 home run. He walked 21 and struck out 10. Now, batters were a lot choosier then, and pitchers tried to pitch to contact, so they threw a lot more balls. As we go through this 46 replay, don't be alarmed by the amount of walks. Okay? It was just the way that it was. Metkovic singled his first time up. Andres, who singled, is on deck. Pitch. Metkovic grounds 1 to second. Pretty over to Sanford, and that retires the side. Not before the Red Sox chase Masterson on 4 runs and 3 hits and no errors. After 2, It is Boston 7, Washington 2. Here's Sherry Robertson as we flip the lineup for the Nats for their second time through. Sherry's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch from Johnson. Popped up. Pellegrini's in. He's got it, 1 out. Buddy Lewis retired his first time up. Pitch from Johnson. Here's another pop-up. This time is for Dorr. Gets the glove on it, and here's 2 out. Warmed up just a touch. It's 60 degrees here as we play the third. It's not a fun day. Wind's right to left at 12, and it's still a drizzle here at the Fens. Here's Jeff Heath. He singled one of the 3 Washington hits this afternoon. Pitch from Johnson. There's a ground ball to third. Andrus comes in on the grass, throws it over to York in time. So no runs, no hits, no errors. Johnson 57 pitches through 3. We've played 2.5, 7-2 Boston. So here's Ernie Andrus with Wagner and Earl Johnson to follow. Andres had an RBI single his first time up. He now has 3 RBIs on the year and 7 hits out of 17 at-bats. Bigling delivers, and there's a grounder to short. Travis throws it over to Sanford, 1 out. Here's Al Wagner. Wagner was retired his first time up. Bigling good for about 70 pitches. He is 8 through his first 2/3 of an inning. Here's Wagner 0 for 1. Fly ball to right center. Spence goes back, makes the catch, 2 out. Earl Johnson walked and scored his first time up. Bigling delivers. There's a ground ball to second. Pretty over to first, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. First time the Red Sox have gone down in order today. After 3, it's the Red Sox 7, Washington 2. So it'll be Jack Sanford, Cecil Travis, and Al Evans here in the 4th for DC. Jack is 0 for 1. Johnson delivers, and there's a line drive to left. That will be extra bases. Yes, Sanford took advantage of Williams kind of loping around, and it's a double. The throw was not in time, and so Washington leads off with a runner in scoring position. Here's Cecil Travis. Cecil singled and scored his first time up. Scored on the Pretty home run in the second. Here's a pitch. Travis hits a line drive, base hit into right. That will score Sanford. Travis looks for 2. He's got it. Mekovich with a decent throw, but Travis beat it, and it's 7-3 now. Here's Al Evans. He's 0 for 1. Pitch to the catcher. There's a line drive, base hit into right. Travis will hold. So runners in the corners, nobody out. And you kind of have to wonder now if we can get Johnson through 5 so he can try to earn the win. Here's Stan Spence. Spence is 0 for 1. Washington, who had 6 lefty hitters in a row when we had them on opening day, has 5 in the lineup this afternoon. Pitch to Spence. There's a base hit. That will score Travis. Base hit in the right center. Evans will hold at second. And Johnson is reeling here. Here's Pretty, who had his first of the year, his first time up in the second, has 5 RBI now, 1 for 1. Johnson takes a deep breath and walks him. So the tying run is at the plate for Nigling, who is not batted in the replay yet. Of course, he hadn't pitched in the replay before this game. In the real season, he went 2 for 11 with an RBI, 1.82 the average. They're loaded, nobody out. 7-4 Boston. Here's the pitch, and he can't get Nigling either. That will be a single in the right center. Evans will score, and it's 7-5. I'm gonna take a trip to the mound. Who have I got that can pitch? Well, Johnson says he's strong. I guess I would have to go with Heflin if that's the case. Maybe Dreiserworth. No, Dreiserworth pitched yesterday, so I guess Heflin would be my long reliever if I need it, because Bagby, who was a normal Red Sox Jim Bagby, the normal Red Sox long reliever, threw 124 pitches on. He started one of the doubleheader games on Sunday. So they're loaded for Robertson. They'll leave Johnson in at least for the moment. 7-5 Boston here in the fourth. Nobody out. Bases loaded for the Nats. Pitch to Robertson. There's a long drive to left. Williams will take a look, and that is long gone. A grand slam for Robertson gives the Nationals a 9-7 lead. That's his second of the year. The play-by-play says that Johnson isn't sharp today. I think that's probably the understatement of the century. But we'll let him pitch to Buddy Lewis. I mean, he's given up 7 runs here in the fourth. 0-for-2 is Lewis. Here's the pitch. Rounder to short. Pellegrini throws it over, and we finally have an out here in the fourth. You know, it figures Johnson just batted in the third. Here's Jeff Heath. He's 1-for-2 with a single. Here's the pitch. He draws a walk. Now we're going to start with Dreiserword, who did throw in the Monday game yesterday. Has a save, no ERA, 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, walked 1 and struck out 1, 47 real-life innings, a 4.18 ERA, a 4-1 record, 50 hits allowed, 3 homers, 15 walks, and 19 strikeouts. Sanford is 1-for-2 now, with a double and a run scored, as the Nats have plated 7 here in the fourth, and there's only 1 out. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to left. Williams goes back, makes the catch for the second out. Keith retreats back to first. Bring up Cecil Travis. He is 2-for-2. He is single, doubled, scored twice, and has an RBI. Pitch. There's a ground ball to first. York flips it over to Dreiserword to retire the side. Not before the Nats score 7 runs on 6 hits and no error. All 9 runs are earned for Johnson, I think. I think so. After 3.5, it is Washington 9, Boston 7. I don't normally do this in the middle of a game, since it was taking forever anyway. Why isn't there any logos there? Anyway, Masterson's day is done. 1 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 2 home runs, walked 3, didn't strike out anybody, 72 god-awful pitches. Johnson lasted 3 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 9 runs, 9 earned runs, 2 homers, 2 walks, no strikeouts, and 88 god-awful pitches. Game score for Masterson 10. Game score for Johnson 4. Here's Don DiMaggio. The Red Sox trail here in the fourth and are now going through the lineup for a 3rd time. He has singled twice and scored twice. Pitch from England. He draws a walk. So a 3-2 knuckler that knuckled too high, and that'll bring up Pellegrini. Eddie is a double and an RBI and a run scored. He's 1-for-2. Williams on deck. He hit the homer in the second to give the Red Sox a big lead. Here's the pitch. He strikes out. So Nigley gets him on a 1-2 knuckler. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here's Williams. He's 1-for-1. He's walked and homered. Here's the pitch. And he lines that one all the way down the line and right. DiMaggio will hold at third. Williams goes to second. Sanford made a bad dive, and so it was a sharp grounder down the line, and it's a double for Williams. Ow. So 1 out for Dorr. With 2 in scoring position, he's 0-for-2 today. Drove in 116 in the real year. Here's the pitch. And there's a fly ball to the shallow left center. Spence comes in. Does DiMaggio tag? Not with 2 out, he doesn't. He had a 71% chance, but you don't want to stop a rally. Rudy York, Rudy in 2-run homers. 1 for 1 with a walk, scored twice, driven in 2. Chance to pick up 2 more as the tying run, and Williams is on second. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to third. Robertson has it, throws it across, and the Red Sox are retired. No run, 1 hit, no errors. After 4 on the back bay, it's Washington 9, Boston 7. So Dreiserwood's going to get pretty much as long as it takes at 75 pitches. 9 runs on 9 hits and no errors for Washington as we start the 5th. They've stranded 2. The Red Sox 7 runs on 8 hits, an error, and they have stranded 4. Pitch to Evans, who's 1 for 2. Ground ball to short, over to first in time, 1 out. Here's Stan Spence. Stan is 1 for 2. RBI and a run scored. For Spence, he's driven in 6 runs now this year. Dreiserwood delivers, and there's a fly ball to right center. DiMaggio is there, 2 out. Quick innings for Dreiserwood so far. Here's Jerry Pretty. 2 runs shot in the second. Made it 3-2 at the time, Boston. He's 1 for 1. He's 2 for 2 now as he lines that one to right center. Mekovic cuts it off and will hold Pretty to a single. Throw to first, runner back, but he gains 2% chance of stealing. So 2 out for the pitcher Neagley, who singled his first time up and scored. And drove in a run. Pitch. There's a grounder to short. Pellegrini flips it to second to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. Halfway home in Boston. But the Nationals, who are 1-6, lead the Red Sox 9-7. Mekovic, Anders, and Wagner here in the bottom of the 5th. Catfish is 1 for 2 with a single. Here's the pitch, and there's a line drive into right field. That will be a base hit. So that's the 9th hit for Boston. Here's Andres. 389, no homers, and 3 RBI. 1 for 2 today with an RBI single. Throw to first, Mekovic back. Mekovic not really going to go. Pitch to Anders, and there's a ground ball, foul. Right? I'm going to say Anders. Yeah, it's, oh! Fair ball. Sometimes you can't watch the animation. Sanford takes it to first himself, and Mekovic goes to second. So, not a bunt, but kind of works that way. And that's my John Sterling moment of the day, brought to you by Lowe's, sponsor of broadcast booth across the Yankee universe. Remember, the John Sterling moment of the day. That's baseball, Susan. Here's Hal Wagner. Hal is 0 for 2. Pitch for Niggling is a line shot into left field. Spence can't get there. Mekovic will score. Wagner will hold at second with a double. So Spence had the diving chance, and that's new in this game. We didn't see the odds box because the computer is managing Washington, but he tried to dive for it and could not get it. He's a 9 fielder out of 10, and so it was a good gamble for Washington to do that. So here's Dreiserwood, who is 0 for 10. You know what he's going to do? He's going to bunt. And he gets the bunt down. Wagner holds at second. What is he doing? Nope, Sanford throws it over to Pretty to retire the pitcher. So the sacrifice works. 3-4. And Wagner stands on third for DiMaggio. Dom is 2 for 2 with a walk. Single twice, walk scored. And has scored twice. 9-8, bottom of the 5th here at beautiful Fenway. Pitch to Dom. There's a ground ball to short. Travis throws it to Sanford to retire the side. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. We've played 5 at fabulous Fenway. It's Washington 9, Boston 8. Jerry Robertson will lead off for the Nats. This is their 4th time through the lineup. As we start the 6th, the Red Sox have started their 4th time through the lineup. Robertson hit the grand slam in the fourth that put the Nats ahead 9-7. 1 for 3. 4 RBI. Now has 8 on the year. He's doubled his number. Pitch from Dreiserwert is a ground ball, base hit left side. So this hitting exhibition continues. 21 hits combined. Buddy Lewis at the plate, and the heck? Oh, pickoff throw was not in time. In fact, Roberts now has a greater chance to steal. I don't know what Lewis was doing. He's 0 for 3. I believe, yeah, he is the only Washington player not to reach base yet. It's a pitch out. Robertson will try to go down. He's got the base stolen. 83% chance to steal the base, and he does. So 1-0 the count to Lewis, and another runner in scoring position. 1-0. There's another bunt down. Wagner throws it over to Dorr, and it's a successful bunt. That's a sacrifice. 2-4. Robertson on third with 1 out for Jeff Heath, who is walking single. He's 1 for 2. Not going to play him in. Here's the pitch. It doesn't matter anyway. It's a line drive to left center that's going to score a run. Robertson will score. Heath will go to first, and the Nats lead it 10-8. Here's Jack Sanford. 1 for 2, or 1 for 3 rather, with a double and a run scored. Here's the pitch. Sanford hits a line drive foul on the third base line. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is where you really want a strikeout pitcher. You're not getting it with Dreiserwert. There's a fly ball to shallow left. Williams comes in, makes the catch for the second out. That'll bring up Cecil Travis. Travis 2 for 3, single and double. Has scored twice and has an RBI. Pitch from Dreiserwert. Here's a ground ball right side, base hit. Heath will stop at third. And so the Nats are runners in the corners. 2 outs for Al Evans. Al 1 for 3 with the run scored. That hit was a single. Dreiserwert now has allowed 4 hits in 2 1/3 innings, but has only thrown 38 pitches. Here's the pitch to Evans. Fly ball to left. Williams retreats and makes the catch to retire the side. Not before the Nationals score a run on 3 hits and no errors after 6.5. It's Washington 10, Boston 8. So much for this being a quick game. And if you clicked on another video when it was 7-2 Boston, shame on you. Come back and watch this one. This has been a good game. Here's Pellegrini. Eddie is 1 for 3. He has doubled, struck out, scored, and driven in a run. Bigling has been wonderful for Washington through 3 1/3 innings, 3 hits, a run, obviously. It was earned, no walk, and a strikeout. Pitch to Pellegrini is a strikeout. 1-2 fastball is swung on and missed, strike 3, so he has 2. Here's Ted Williams. Ted is 2 for 2. He has doubled, homered, walked once, driven in 2, and scored. Can't hit a 2-run homer, but they take a walk right now. On cue. It's 11th walk for Teddy this year. He has struck out once. Here's Bobby Dorr. Bobby's 0 for 3, and the Red Sox could sure use a hit from him right now. Nigling delivers, and that's a walk. The walk is as good as a hit, as my dad would say. And I'll bring up Rudy York. Rudy is 1 for 2. He has got a 2-run homer to his credit. Scored twice and walked once. 10-8 Washington here in the bottom of the 6th. In a game that is pretty uncomfortable weather-wise, as now winds are blowing out now at 15 to right center. Temperature at 62, and it has steadily light rain throughout the entire game. Pitch to York. It gets away from Evans. And so Williams goes to third. Dorr goes to second on the pass ball. So the tying run is in scoring position. Nigling, I'm sure, is getting tired. He was only scheduled, well, not scheduled, His pitch count was right around 70, and he's at 68. There is fatigue built into this game engine, just in case you're wondering. Be careful which buttons I hit here. All right, so a 1-1 count to York. Here's the pitch. There's a pop-up. Travis moves over into shallow left. That will not be deep enough to score Williams, and there's 2 out. So I'll bring up Catfish Mekovich. Catfish is 2 for 3. He singled twice and scored once. Sox have stranded 5. Nats have stranded 5. Pitch to Mekovich. There's a ground ball right back to Nigling. Throws it over to Sanford to retire the side. So the Sox leave 2 on. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, it's still 10-8 Washington. So Dreisword has thrown 40 pitches, 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits allowed, nothing else across. I take that back. He must have given up an earned run. Spence is 1 for 3, a single, an RBI, and a run scored. Pitch. There's a line drive into right center, into right for a single. So Spence leads off with a hit. 5 allowed for I'm going to say Dreisword? I should look that up. Anyway, here's Jerry Pretty. 2 for 2, single and a homer. Scored twice, has 2 RBIs, and he's walked. So this game is not going into the highlight reel of Pitchers Illustrated. Here's the pitch to Pretty. There's a ground ball up the middle. Dreisword knocks it down but can't make a play. It's under his glove, and an error is charged to the pitcher. So nobody out here in the 7th. Runners on first and second. Second Red Sox error, and I'll bring up Nigling, maybe, who is 1 for 2 with a single. RBI and a run scored. No, we're going to get a pitching change. Gil Cohen comes in. He is 0 for 5 on the year with a strikeout. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball. Dreisword throws it over to first for the out. Is that a bunt? It was a bunt because they're not listing him with an at-bat. So a good sacrifice for Cohen. 1 out and 4 wide ones to Sherry Robertson. So they'd rather pitch to Buddy Lewis, or I'd rather pitch to Buddy Lewis, is 0 for 3. Why did I pitch to Robertson? Well, he's 2 for 4 with a grand slam, that's why. So let's see if this pays off. Red Sox will play back for 2. Here's the pitch. And he walked him. So Spence will score, and it's 11-8 Washington. Jeff Heath the batter. Jeff is 2 for 3. Single twice, has an RBI and a walk. And he'll ground this one to second. Door. Going to try for 2. Pellegrini 1 over to York. Over to York. They turn it. How about that? A 39% chance of turning the double play, and they do. So 4-6-3 on the double play, but Washington puts another one across. They string in 2. Stretch time at Fenway. What few people are left are stretching. It's 11-8. Washington. So Andres Wagner in a pinch hitter to face Bill Kennedy, who pitched for, I assume that's Notre Dame. 6.75 ERA on the replay. Inning pitched, 1 hit. He walked 3 and struck out 1. So 6 ERA in real life. So Andres is ready. He is 1 for 3. Single and RBI. And that's a long line drive to left. Heath has it, 1 out. Here's Wagner. Al is 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to right. Lewis moves in a step for 2, and that is the second out. With Kennedy up, we're going to bring in Leon Culberson to pinch hit. Pellegrini's second in the lineup, but it's not. I thought about putting Pesky in the pinch hit, but then you kind of had the pitcher batting third in the 8th inning, and that's not what you want. Sox trailed by 3, by the way. If you watch the first game of this replay, The Sox came back from 2 down in the 9th to win in Washington. So you never know. Culberson is 3 for 6 on the year. Translates out to 500 with an RBI. Here's a pitch. He's now 4 for 7. He's going to have another extra base hit too, as Sanford dove and couldn't get it. The ball rolled all the way to the wall. Culberson's in with a stand-up double. 2 out for DiMaggio, who is 2 for 3. He singled twice, scored twice, and walked. So 11-8 Washington. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. DiMaggio grounds this one to Travis. Throws it over. Now, it almost worked. Anyways, Culberson staying in. And Pellegrini's not going to stay in. Regardless. Pesky comes in to play short. And Heflin will come in to pitch. They'll take Culberson's the 9 spot in the lineup. Heflin, let me tell you a bit about him. Has not pitched in the replay. In real life, 0-1 the record with a 2.45 ERA. Walked for 14 innings pitched, 16 hits, no home runs allowed. He walked 12 and struck out 6. And he's good for 70, and he should be good for the rest of the game. 11-8 Nats as we start the 8th inning. Jack Sanford is 1 for 4. He has doubled and scored. Sanford hits a line drive into center that's going to drop for a base hit. So he greets Heflin rudely with a single. Here's Cecil Travis. He's 3 for 4 today. 2 singles, a double, 2 runs, and an RBI. Here's a pitch. And Travis walks. I don't think this one will be in the annals of Red Sox history as one of the great games. Here's Al Evans. Al is 1 for 4. Singled and scored. Here's the pitch. And he walks him loaded. So nobody out, bases loaded for Stan Spence. Nationals lead by 3, 11-8. Stan is 2 for 4. He has scored twice, singled twice, and driven in a run. Red Sox will concede the run. Oh, wait, and Spence strikes out, and he's thrown out of the game. He got hot arguing what he didn't think was strike 3. I don't know what the count is. And he's been yanked. He got caught guessing wrong, and he had a few words with Stevie Wonder behind the plate, and Wonder rung him up. He was not his Sharia Moore. Here's Jerry Pretty. Jerry is 2 for 3 with a homer and 2 RBI. He has scored twice and walked once. So the Red Sox could get out of this unscathed, maybe on a double play. Here's the pitch. Got him! How about that? A 2-2 fastball swung on and missed strike 3. So 2 outs after the Nationals load the bases here in the 8th, and they still don't have a run on the board. Bill Kennedy, the batter. Bill, 1 for 8 on the real year. Do they leave him in? Don't know what they're going to do here. They're going to pinch hit George Binks. George is 0 for 8 on the year with a strikeout. 194 on the real season. You know this will be an extra base hit because he's due, just like Jeff Heath was. Start this game. Pitch to George. It's a ground ball to third. Andres charges it, throws it across the diamond to retire the side. We're going to have a bunch of changes here, but let me tell you, no runs on 1 hit, no errors. The Nats strand 3, 7.5 in the books. It's Washington 11, Boston 8. Jake Early will be your new catcher. He will take over for Al Evans. And bat 6th. The new pitcher is Max Wilson. He will bat 7th. Max has no record, has thrown 1 inning, walked 2, and struck out 3 through 12 innings in real life. He is a lefty, allowed 16 hits. a home run, walked 9 and struck out 8. He has a real life earned run average of 711, which, if that is the case, then the Red Sox would be very lucky. Johnny Pesky, who came in as a defensive replacement in the 8th, will lead us off. 300 the average, no homers, and 4 RBI. And wouldn't you know it, he's only struck out once since that opening day game. Pitch to Pesky is a line drive into right center. That's a base hit. So Pesky will round first and hold, and that'll bring up Ted Williams, who the Nationals have not retired today. He has walked twice. He is 2 for 2. He has doubled, homered, driven in 2, scored once. Look at this. I sound like I'm reading school closings. The next thing you're going to hear me say is that Gloucester Foster is closed, and Boston schools are on a 2-hour delay. They wouldn't be. The weather on this 23rd of April, 1946, 63 degrees and light rain. Winds have shifted to right now at 11 miles an hour as whatever front has passed through. Pitch to Ted, ball 4, and so they still haven't retired him. He's been up 5 times today and has reached base all 5 times. Here's Bobby Dorr, who is 0 for 3 with a walk. He is a tying run, no one out in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch, and he draws a walk, and so they are loaded for Rudy York, who already has a 2-run homer on his dance card today, 1 for 3. He now has a homer and 4 RBIs on the year. 4 RBI, he has scored twice and walked once. So Wilson has allowed a hit and 2 walks in 15 pitches. There's the pitch. Infield fly, the call. Pop up to short. Travis is there for the first out. Catfish Mektovich the batter. Catfish has singled twice. He's 2 for 4. Scored a run. Bases are full of Boston. Pesky on third. Williams on second. Dorr on first. 1 out. 11-8 Washington. Here's the pitch. There's a line drive in the left. That's going to get all the way to the wall. Pesky scores. Williams scores. Dorr will try to score. Mektovich will try to go to third. The throw goes home. They will have not Dorr. Dorr beats the throw. Heath misplayed it off the monster, and the Red Sox have tied the game here in the 8th at 11. A 3-run double with the right power on for Mektovich, and the Red Sox have tied this game in 11 with 1 out. And Ernie Andres at the plate, who's 1 for 4. He already has an RBI. He has a single. So Max Wilson, even though they wouldn't call it this in 1946, gets the blown save. Here's Andres, and he hits it right back to the pitcher. Mektovich holds at third, and Andres is retired, or under. So here's Hal Wagner. He is 1 for 4. He actually get lefties at 245 clip. He has a double and an RBI, and can give the Red Sox a 12-11 lead with a base hit here. And they're going to walk him, which is the right move, and that's going to see some more wheels turning here. All right, we have someone that can hit lefties. Tom McBride seems to fit that bill. So McBride, the pinch hitter, he's 4 for 5 with a triple. 3-run score, 2 RBI. Excuse me. So Mektovich the go-ahead run on third. Wagner the insurance run on first. McBride doesn't have any power. Here's the pitch. There's a line shot in the left. That will give them the lead. Mektovich scores. Wagner holds at third. Robertson could not get it. He should have had it. And the Red Sox pull ahead 12-11. Here is Don DiMaggio. Dommy's 2 for 4. He singled twice. He scored twice. He has walked once. This is wild. Forget what I said about this not being a good game in Red Sox history. They were up 7-2. They fell down 9-7. At one point, they were down 11-8, and they've come back. 2 outs here in the In the bottom of the 8th, this will be the 6th time through the lineup for Boston. Here's the pitch to Dummy. And that's a base hit into right center. Wagner will score. Vince misplays it. McBride will try and score. DiMaggio holds at second. To throw home from Pretty is not in time. And so Binks was slow getting to the ball on that wet outfield. And the Red Sox have scored 6 here in the 8th. This is fun. Here's Pesky. Johnny came in the game in the 8th inning as a defensive replacement, or the 7th inning rather. No, in the 8th, the Red Sox had batted around. He singled and scored his first time up. There's the pitch, and he'll get on again. That's going to roll to the wall. He's on with a double. DiMaggio scores, and it's 15-11. So I'd say it's a football score, but both teams would be best known at this point for the Redskins. So the Boston Redskins lead the Washington Redskins 15-11. There's Ted Williams, and they've got not retired him so far tonight, or today. 2 for 2, 3 walks, a double, a home run. He has 2 RBI and 2 runs scored. Here's the pitch. They finally get him. It's a pop up to second. Here's Pretty, and that finally retires the side. Not before the Red Sox score 7 runs on 5 hits and no errors. We've played 8. It's Boston 15, Washington 11. Mace Brown will try to close this out. He does have a save on the year. In fact, I think I was probably the last one to pitch him. It was opening day. Inning, 2 hits allowed. Mark 1 and struck out 1. 26 innings in real life, 26 hits. A 3-1 record with a 2.05 ERA. Allowed 2 homers, walked 16, and struck out 10. Remember, bullpens of this era were starters who couldn't hack starting. Jerry Robertson, 2 for 4. Single, grand slam in the 4th. 4 RBI, scored twice and was intentionally walked sometime late in the game. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Pesky over to first in time, 1 out. For the Nationals, 11 runs on 15 hits, no errors, and they've stranded 10. The Red Sox, 15 runs, 16 hits, and 2 errors. And they've stranded 9. Here's Buddy Lewis. Buddy's 0 for 3. He is the lone player in the starting lineup on not to have a hit. Bobby Doerr did not get a hit today for Boston. He did walk a couple times, though. Lewis walked once. There's a ground ball to short. Pesky to first. And the Nats are down to their final out. There's Jeff Heath. Jeff is 2 for 4. It's his first 2 hits of the year. He was 0 for 16 before this game, and now he's 2 for 20. 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Brown 1 out away from locking this one down. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball to second. Doerr to York, and the Red Sox win. They move to 7-1 on a 15-11 win. Are you ready? Wow, 3 hours and 36 minutes to play this one. The recap is so long, I gotta scroll it. All right, 11 runs on 15 hits, no errors for Washington. They fall to 1-7. The Red Sox moved to 7-1. 15 runs on 16 hits and 2 errors. Here's how we got there. They sent 8. The Red Sox sent 8 to the first, or to the plate at the first, including a Ted Williams 2-run shot to make it 2-0. Ernie Andrus with an RBI single made it 3-0, and then back came the Nats. Jerry Pretty with a bomb to left field to make it 3-2. The Red Sox again exploded off of Walt Masterson 7 to the plate in the second, Eddie Pellegrini with an RBI double scoring Earl Johnson. That made it 4-2. Bobby Dorr, ground ball out, scored one, made it 5-2. Then Rudy York with a 2-run homer to make it 7-2. Thought the Red Sox were safe there, right? Wrong. The Nationals send 11 to the plate, scoring 7 runs on 6 hits and 2 walks. Cecil Travis doubled, which scored Jack Sanford. Stan Spence scored to score Travis. That made it 7-4. Johnny Nigling, who came on in relief, singled to score Evans to make it 7-5. Sherry Robertson hit a grand slam, a second home run of the year, to make it 9-7, and that was pretty much it for Earl Johnson. Red Sox got 1 in the 5th. Hal Wagner with an RBI double to make it 9-8 in the 6th. Jeff Heath singled, scoring 1 to make it 10-8 Washington. The Nationals padded their lead on a run on a hit, 2 walks and an error in the 7th. Buddy Lewis walked home Stan Spence. Ugh. And then in the 8th, with yet another Red Sox pitcher on the ropes, they failed to score on a hit and 2 walks. They had the bases loaded and couldn't get anyone in. Then came the bottom of the 8th inning, where the Red Sox sent 11 men to the plate. They scored 7 runs on 5 hits and 3 walks. They tied the game on a bases-loaded double by Catfish Mekovich. See, this would be the point that we'd be playing back the highlights if I was a good video editor. If you were a kid in the 80s, this would be where you'd hear Ken Coleman kind of go nuts. He never actually went, loud on the air, but, he'd be quite excited for reserve Ken Coleman at this point. Tom McBride drove in the game-winning run on a pinch hit single. Then Don DiMaggio gave the Red Sox all sorts of padding on a 2-run double, and then Johnny Pesky, who was a defensive replacement in that 8th inning, doubled, scoring DiMaggio to end the scoring to make it 15-11. Not taping the second game of the day. My voice is shot. For Washington, Jerry Priddy, 2 for 4 with a homer, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs. Sherry Robertson went 2 for 5 for Washington, including a grand slam. Cecil Travis, 3 for 4 with double and 2 runs. For Boston, there were offensive heroes aplenty. Ted Williams, 2 for 3 with double, like his first inning home run, 2 RBI, 2 runs scored, and 3 walks. He had 6 plate appearances and reached base 5. Don DiMaggio, 3 for 5 with a double, 2 RBI. He scored 3 times. Catfish Mekovich, 3 for 5 with a double and 3 RBI, including that bases-clearing double in the 8th that tied the game. Scored twice. Rudy York, Sergeant York, 1 for 4 with a homer and 2 RBI. Scored 2 runs. Randy Heflin gets the win. He picks it up in relief. An inning pitch to hit, walked 2, struck out 2. 1-0 on the year now. Max Wilson takes the loss, spoils it for Johnny Nigling, who pitched wonderful in relief of Walt Masterson. Wilson, 1 inning, 7 earned runs, 5 hits, 3 walks. He drops to 0-1 on the year. Hit that like and smash that subscribe button, my friends. We'll be with you Friday afternoon from Philadelphia's Showdown Park as the Red Sox go on the road to play the Philadelphia Athletics. And let me tell you, the A's were horrible in 1946. So until then, I'm Ron Juckett for Retro Sports Network. We will talk to you the next time.